Jarred, let's work backwards here. We talked about a week ago, and you said that you made a discovery, or a teammate made a discovery, a little change that you made in your timing, and it's seeing the ball better. You still there?
Yeah, I got a bunch of at-bats in a couple minor league games back here a few days back, probably like 4 days now. And I don't know, it just kind of clicked, and I've seen the ball so much better, and ever since I got those at-bats, I've came out and I've done really well in the game. So just trying to stay with it, and hopefully it keeps translating into the season.
And that was Steven Souza who helped you out with that. And that's just one of the things about this game. It can be anybody.
100%, yeah. And to have someone like him, who's such an amazing teammate, amazing person, to kind of just, break it down for me a little bit, and how small of an adjustment that it can be that can make such a huge difference. That was something that was pretty eye-opening to me.
Very cool. He has a lot of experience. You know that. Had you met him before?
I haven't until he came into the clubhouse.
Okay, all right. Let's work a little bit more backwards now. I remember when you first came over, and Jerry DePoto said that you were an absolutely baseball-crazed kid.
Yeah.
Everything was baseball, baseball, baseball.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder, after you've had a full year of baseball like you did last year, do you put it away at all? Do you take some time for yourself? What did you do when the season ended?
I mean, obviously I'm a big outdoorsman, so I spent a lot of time in the woods hunting with my family, and then a lot of just spending quality time with my family outside of that. It lasted about 2 weeks into the off season, and then I was hungry to get back after it, because there was things that I wanted to fix, because I demand better out of myself coming into the season. And that's just kind of who I am. I've always been about baseball. My whole life's been about baseball, and even though I'm here, it's healthy to get away from it for a little bit, but I felt like I took the necessary time off, and then went right back to work.
You told a great story last year about how you kind of got into baseball, and how your folks knew that, okay, this is it. You were destroying the house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Playing in the basement and everything else. When did you have an idea that, this is what I want to do, and this is what I think I can do?
Ever since I was young, I've always wanted to be a professional baseball player, but it wasn't until I would say I was in middle school, probably my 7th grade year, and I was playing up 3-4 years, and I was doing really well on the team, and I was like, holy cow, this could be something that I'm actually really good at. I'm playing with kids that are 4 or 5 years older than me, and I'm one of the better kids on the team, and that was when I really said, I'm gonna dedicate my life to this and see where it takes me.
Very good. You've got a facility that you work out at. Your parents built. Mm-hmm. How did that happen?
Well, so it started off by my dad built a baseball complex with 10 baseball diamonds. It started like that. That's where the team that I had played for, that's where we spent all of our time. And then shortly after that, he had built another facility on the same property that was this full indoor gym with turf, batting cages, the whole 9 yards. And so I spent a ton of my time there, and I was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning before school so I could go in and work out, so I had enough time to hit and do outfield stuff after school. Mm-hmm. Just because with homework and all that other stuff, I had to find time to make sure I was getting my workouts in, as well as baseball stuff. And then shortly after that, it was probably about 2 years later, he built another facility that's strictly baseball, and it's a full, I would say it's a full infield indoors, a big league diamond, with a little bit of outfield, a 40-foot ceiling, so you can really see the ball flight, with 15 cages or something. And then that's where I was hitting all the time. So, and then I had a facility that I played for, or the team that I played for was Hitters in Racine. They had the same facility, which was about an hour from my house. So I would go down there every weekend, but throughout the week I'd be training at this facility.
So is that going to keep you from moving to Florida or Arizona or
I mean, I don't know. The setup down here is definitely really nice. I'll probably come down here eventually. It's just a matter of when.
You talked also about you were an expert omelet maker. I'm wondering, have you added anything to the repertoire?
Making stuff?
Yes.
I mean, I've tried to mess around with some meats and stuff like that.
Okay.
Just because I'm a big red meat guy. With me being an outdoorsman, I we eat just about everything that we kill. So I definitely like different meats and like smoking. Like smoking meat is really good.
I think Haniger's a good barbecuer.
He's very good.
Is he?
Very good, yeah. Yeah, he's really into it. So is Murph's good at it.
Go figure.
Yeah, I know.
Do you keep in touch with Murph in the off season?
Yeah, I kept in touch with a lot of the guys over this off season. We text back and forth if something came up or if it was somebody's birthday or just to talk really.
You worked with Mark McGwire this off season. Why? How did that happen?
Well, so like I had recently changed agencies and my agent represents his kids. And anytime that they send video of somebody that's hitting, they send to him because it's Mark McGwire. He knows the swing just about better than anybody. And so it had started where I was working with this guy Lenny in our hitting, or in my agency, who's our hitting guy, and he was sending the video to Mark, and it was kind of just a three-way. And finally, Mark's like, "Listen, send him my number and let me talk to him." So then I started calling him, and then our conversations turned into 2-3 hour conversations over the phone, talking about hitting, going over video. And every time I was hitting, I was taking video, sending it to him, making small adjustments, and I literally talked to him just about after every game. He watches every at-bat.
You're talking to him still every
Yeah, yep, yeah, I talked to him yesterday.
That is fantastic. Have you met him in person yet?
No, I haven't. He lives not too far from the Angel Stadium, so he's invited me over to come over to his house whenever we're there. So.
That's fantastic. The generosity in baseball, I mean, it really is a brotherhood.
It really is.
That's just amazing.
It's a small world.
Were you intimidated at all?
Not really, because he's so, like, he is an unbelievable human being. He's so, like, he makes you feel so comfortable when he's talking to you, and he's very educational, and it just, like, he's one of those people where you're talking to him, and then you're like, oh my gosh, we've been sitting here for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And, you know, for him to pass his knowledge to me is something I can never thank him enough for.
I'm sure there were questions you wanted to ask him, not about you, but you're Mark McGwire. You hit this many. What was kind of the burning question that you wanted to get straight from him?
I mean, just like the one of many, but that one year that he had where he hit like 72 homers or something like that, like what really clicked for him. And that was something I had asked him, and he said that year was when he finally learned how to not swing as hard as he could and just let his natural ability and his strength take over, and allowed to free up his hands, and all he was thinking about was nice and easy, and before you know it, he looked up at the scoreboard and he had 70 homers on the year.
And that's something you're thinking right now a little bit?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, I put in so much work in the gym, and I've gotten extremely strong, and I can't try to force it. I got to just let everything, all the work that I put into the weight room, the strength that I have, let you know, my ability take over. And when I'm miss-hitting balls and they're going out to left field, then I'm doing something right, you know.
How do you not force everything else? I know, obviously, we went through it with you last year.
Right.
You know?
Right. I mean, I've learned to become aware of when I feel like I'm trying to do more. And examples of that are, for instance, the game where we were playing the White Sox, and Cease was on the mound, I think, and throwing pretty hard. That was like 98 to 100, and that at bat I ended up striking out, and I came back to the dugout and I'm like, holy cow, I definitely was trying to. He was throwing 98. I was trying to swing at 198%. And I keep a notebook with me in the dugout, and I write after an at bat. I write kind of what my thought process was, what I felt they were trying to do, and what I could have done differently. And I just came back to it was I was trying way too hard, and took a step back. And my whole goal that next at bat was, you know what, we're going to shorten up the load, and we're just going to let the hands work. Next at bat, double off the wall. And that's just a small example. And another example would be, so there's times where I really like facing a velocity machine, because any flaws you have, you get exposed. And out there'll be times where like 8-10 in a row, just banging balls. And then all of a sudden there'll be like a streak of like 5 where they're not good. Roll over, jam, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, what? And I'll step out and realize that I'm trying to hit the ball because I hit 10 in a row. I'm trying to hit one better than that one, better than that one. And it's human nature, so you can't get mad at yourself. But then once I'm aware of that, I can step back and go, okay, now I'm going to try to hit this one softer. And then all of a sudden, boom, barrel, and then I just take off. So it's learning how to become aware of when you're trying to do too much and being honest with yourself and being patient with yourself at the same time. Because, like, I want to be the guy that, you know, comes up and has a big hit. Like, everybody wants that.
Sure. Yeah.
But just being patient and breathing and understanding when you're trying to do too much, and that's kind of where I'm at.
Is it a matter of just allowing yourself to, I hate to say the word fail, but it's such a huge part of the game.
I mean, obviously I failed a lot last year, and I think the best part about last year, though, is that the immense struggles that I had, I came out on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that no matter what I go through moving forward, like, I came out on the other side of hell.
Yeah. What
it was. So I know I can get through anything. And so I definitely don't think that I know for a fact it'll never get to be that immense again, because if it does, then that's on me, because then I didn't apply anything that I learned from last year. Mm-hmm. And so I've had numerous conversations even with my parents, and you know, one of the things that I talked about with my mom was she had asked me, you know, are you excited for this year? I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm really excited. And I would make a joke like, you know, if I hit 182 this year, that's a step in the right direction instead of 181, you know? I would just make the joke, you know, because I like to mess around, and I try not to take it too seriously. And my mom looked at me. She didn't laugh. And she looked at me and she goes, you know, Jarred, if this year happens like last year, that's on you. And I said, you know what? Like, you're right. Because there's so many valuable lessons in that season that I needed to learn, because that's why it happened. Mm-hmm. And now I need to just go and apply it and go play and have fun.
Mom's on the team, huh?
Yep. And usually mom's always right. So she's honest with me, and that's what I appreciate the most. And she's 100% right that it is on me if that's what's going to happen. And I didn't learn anything.
What do you see in those around you right now? What do you see in that clubhouse?
I see a lot of unbelievable people is what I see. Their talent speaks for itself. I think everyone sees that. But in that clubhouse, you have such a great group of people that, you know, push everyone to be better. And what I also see is I see guys that are in all different phases of their career. So you have guys like Romo. He's been around since I was literally in diapers. Mm-hmm. You have guys like Robbie Ray, who just signed a huge deal. You have guys like Mitch Haniger, who is in ARB again. You have got like all levels of your career. We have guys in every level, every category, and guys like me that are just got here and are trying to establish themselves. So you have so many people that you can bounce information off and experiences that they had, and that makes a dangerous ball team.
Last question: what is your favorite part of the baseball day?
My favorite part of the baseball day would be, like, on a game day or like spring training?
On a game day, when you're coming to a field, when you're in it. It could be August, it could be July. You're doing it every day. What do you enjoy the most?
I enjoy, I love taking batting practice. That's something that I really, really enjoy. But I also enjoy being in the clubhouse and laughing at whatever. That's really fun for me, just because, you know, when you're in the clubhouse, we don't talk about baseball much because we're around it so much. And so to be in the clubhouse and laugh about whatever allows you to kind of take your mind off of it, and that's what I enjoy.